Hey everybody. So, I want to talk about the best division in the NHL, and it's the best division by far. It's not even close, and that is the Central. The Central Division, from top to bottom, blows all the other divisions away. There are no bad teams in the Central Division. The last place team in the Central Division is an average team. It is not a bad team. And we saw that last year with Chicago. Chicago certainly didn't have a great year last year. They were a very average team, and they certainly not great by their standards, and they finished dead last in the division. In no other division would they have been even close to last place. So here are the Central Division standings so far this season. It's really unbelievable. Nashville's sitting at the top, 8-3-0 with 16 points. Colorado's in a close second place, 7-3-2, 16 points. Winnipeg's in third place, 7-4-1, 15 points. Chicago is in fourth place, 6-3-3, 15 points. Minnesota is in fifth place with a 6-2-2 record, 14 points. Dallas is 5-5-0, exactly 500. They're second to last with 10 points, and St. Louis is in last place, 3-4-3 with 9 points. So almost every team in the division is at double-digit points so far. Minnesota has a 6-2-2 record. Imagine only having 2 regulation losses and being in 5th place in the division. It is unbelievable how good this division is from top to bottom. The only other division that I think is even close would be the Atlantic, and the Atlantic is only close with their top teams. The top end of the Atlantic is very, very good. Certainly gives the top end of the Central a run for its money. But the bottom of the Atlantic is very, very bad. The bottom of the Central is not bad. St. Louis is sitting in last place right now with a 3-4-3 record. They were supposed to be the most improved team of the offseason. Certainly a playoff contender this year, and they're sitting right now in last place. I think 5 teams from this division are going to make the playoffs this year, and only 3 from the Pacific. But that still means that 2 teams are going to get left out, and that's going to be 2 good teams that are not in the playoffs, or at least 2 average teams that would have had a much better chance of making the playoffs if they were not in this division. You've got to remember that this division is so good, and these teams play each other so often. A lot of their losses come from each other. These teams beat up on each other a lot. If they didn't have to play each other and only played teams from other divisions, these records would be out of this world. They would blow the other divisions away. I mean, Nashville is one of the absolute best teams in the league. Winnipeg is one of the best teams in the league. Colorado is having an incredible season. Chicago's played much better than expected. Minnesota is sitting in 5th place right now, and they're off to a great start. Dallas is a good team, and if they didn't lose so many freaking close games, they'd have a way better record than 5-5. And St. Louis was supposed to be that, they're not a bad team. They were supposed to be even better than last year. Hasn't been the case so far this year, but they have a chance to, over the course of a full season, be much better than what their record shows right now. This is just such a great division. These teams can beat anybody, and there's no bad team in this division. Every other division has bad teams. The New York Rangers and the New York Islanders aren't really all that great in the Metro. Ottawa Detroit's the worst team I think in the league, and they're in the Atlantic. Ottawa, I think over the course of the season you're going to see drop down to being one of the worst teams. The Pacific has Vancouver and Arizona. Even though Vancouver's off to a good start this year, I don't expect that to keep up. They're not a great team. Arizona's not a great team. The Kings have not looked good at all so far this year. Every other division has their bad teams. There are no bad teams in this division on this list. I think at worst you have teams like Dallas, who's playing average hockey right now. St. Louis is an average team right now. There's nothing that's like, wow, they're bad. And and the top of this division is just unbelievable. You have some of the best teams in the league here. So I just want to talk about the Central a little bit because this is such a difficult division. You're going to have at least one good team not make the playoffs because they play in this division, maybe two. And I expect 5 teams from this division to end up in the postseason because I think they're that much better than the Pacific. Really, the only thing that makes some of these teams' records not all that great is when they play each other because they absolutely beat up on each other. They also have some great rivalries in this division. Nashville versus Winnipeg has become a great rivalry. Minnesota against Winnipeg, Minnesota against Dallas, usually some pretty nasty games. St. Louis has good rivalries with Nashville and Minnesota, and obviously Chicago. This is such a great division in the NHL, such a fun division to watch. I love watching any interdivision games between these teams. I absolutely love. It's just no other division comes close. So if you get the chance to watch any Central Division hockey this year, do it because you're going to be thoroughly impressed with what you see. The games are exciting. They're fun to watch. There's a lot of good animosity between these teams when they play each other, especially teams that have met in the playoffs in recent years. And it's just high level hockey. And when these teams play teams from other divisions, they often come out on top. So the Central, I think, is without a doubt the best division in the NHL, and I don't think it's close. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. Check out offthewallhockey.com. All those links are down in the description below. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. If you'd like to further support Off the Wall Hockey on Patreon, that link is down in the description. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you guys soon.